What's going on, everybody? This is a segment from the Nerdgasm Talk podcast. If you like podcasts, well, why don't you come join us as the crew gets silly and Philly while we sit to talk about the latest in comics, games, movies, and all things pop culture. You guys can listen to our whole show on all the podcasts apps. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you guys get your podcasts from. And make sure you guys also support the channel by subscribing to the Nerd Coalition Studios. And for the gaming needs, make sure you subscribe to Nerd Coalition Level Up. This is the Nerd Coalition. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. And now, feel the Nerdgasm. Alright, so we just got out from seeing Captain America Brave New World for my first initial reaction. Before I go and do my full review, I couldn't do it in the inside though, but I thought it was pretty good. Nigga! Alright, so this has to be said. After sleeping on something, sometimes your opinion can change. It's complicated. What I'm talking about is because now we're in 2025 and the MCU is back in full swing. We only had one movie last year, and this time we got a whole slate of movies coming out this year, and we're kicking off the year with the newest movie, Captain America Brave New World. Now, Captain America Brave New World, this is starring Anthony Mackie. He is the new Captain America. If you guys have not seen Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you guys know that he has stepped up and now has become the new Captain America. And it's also a lot of pressure on him because it's like, how I cannot fill Steve Rogers' shoes, right? How can I go out and be this Captain America and I'm a black guy? You know, so it's a lot of these issues that I'm facing here. I like the way they addressed that in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Now we're in a situation where Thunderbolt Ross is now the President of the United States, played by Harrison Ford. Now, because William Hurt has passed away, so we got the new Thunderbolt Ross and Harrison Ford. We got an assassination attempt on the president, and then now we got this Red Hulk coming out of nowhere. So it's like, you know, there's a lot of things going on here. Now, this movie is listen, this is going to be a non-spoiler review because I'm going to give a spoiler review on the second part of the podcast when I have Q-Flow. But it's just going to be me doing non-spoiler. I'm going to give you all what I liked about it, what I did not like about it, what are some of the things that I feel as though that was missing from the movie. So I'm going to start off with the good real quick. So believe it or not, when it comes to this movie, I don't find Anthony Mackie as the problem. I think Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson is good. He's lovable. I enjoy him. I don't know if he's a leading man to have the lead role yet. I don't know if I'm sold on that just yet. But I'm not gonna let this one movie just define that. Okay, but I'm still not sold if he is like a leading man type of thing. But I am liking that it's like, okay, I like him in the Captain America role. Once again, I'm trying to be reserved here, okay? I still think that there was more that he could have gave us in the performance, or that there was even more in the movie could have allowed him to give, to say the least. Another good thing that I felt as though who helped carry the movie and who did not phone it in this time was Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford, Thunderbolt Ross, I mean, he killed it. And usually Harrison Ford at the twilight of his career, when it comes to Star Wars, when it comes to the new Indiana Jones, that man said paycheck. Now it's like he was actually excited to do this role. Like I felt that he had emotion in this role, he had the anger in this role, he had the convincing parts in this role, and obviously they did not shy away from it that the Red Hulk is in this movie. Now they showed this mostly in the trailers, and I have to regret to say this. This ain't a spoiler. But it depending on how many shorts you've seen, how many trailers you've seen, teasers you've seen, one spot you've seen, most of that Red Hulk stuff is the third act. Okay, that's the final boss fight. There's no spoiler to that. There's maybe a couple things you have not seen, but most of that stuff is in there. But I'm happy to say this. I thought that was great. I thought the Red Hulk stuff was great. I thought that was one of the best parts of the movie because once again, for somebody who has been dying for just Hulk-like action, not CGI Mark Ruffalo as Smart Hulk. I'm so sick of what the Russo brothers did to Hulk, especially after Hulk. Listen, Hulk got his ass bodied by Thanos, and that was rest in peace. We ain't never seen that Hulk again. Okay, that Hulk is done. Now we got this merge Hulk, and we've been getting I'm trying to fit into society Hulk. I'm at peace, Hulk. No, you're the great thing about the Hulk is Jekyll and Hyde, right? It's when he's hulked out and it's a rage monster. That's why you get angry and it turns to you're blinded. And in this movie, Red Hulk don't hold nothing back. Okay, nothing. It's all about I understand I'm the president, Thunderbolt Ross, but when I turn to Hulk, man, listen, whoever's in my way, I'm trying to murk them. That's the Hulk, man. I've been missing that from the MCU, and I was just glad to see that kind of Hulk back into the MCU because it was so doubtful that it's been that long. Those were the two standout things I like. There are little things in there also. Isaiah Bradley is in this movie. For those who don't know Isaiah Bradley, he was the black Captain America that was in Falcon and Winter Soldier show that the government was hiding for 30 years. He has more of a role in this one. I like Isaiah Bradley. And I like that they brought him into this movie. And then there's also Giancarlo Esposito as Sidewinder. He makes an appearance in this movie also. And whatever you give Giancarlo Esposito, he's going to be good at it. He's going to be great at it, okay? The man's a great actor. However, you can tell that he was added into the movie. Now I got to get into what bothers me. I gave mostly of what was the good about it, what I enjoyed about it, but now there's something that bothers me about this movie. The problem that this movie is facing, for me personally, is last night I wanted to be clear. I did come out of the theater saying, "Hey, this movie was pretty good," and at that time, I did feel that way. And even right now, I don't think it's a trash movie. Let me just clear that right now. I don't think it's a trash movie. But it ain't a great one. It's probably one of the worst ones. Okay? At least when you're ranking it, you're probably going to rank this out of the first three, even the first Avenger, you're probably going to put this at the bottom, to be honest with you. This movie did not know what it wanted to be. You could tell this movie, when they had all the dramas about all the reshoots, you can tell the reshoots. Okay? You can tell that this movie is not cohesive and they just added things on to the movie. And it's not always but like Giancarlo Esposito, it's like he's not in the movie that much because you can tell he was added in there. For what they had planned to do at the beginning, you can tell that, I don't know if they weren't confident with this idea, if the screen didn't go for this idea, or if they was just like, this is just going too close, we got to change things up. Because one of the things I did say in my review when I first came out of the theater was they played it safe. And I mean, they played it safe. I want them to go there a little bit more like, cause you can have a good melodrama in there. And they was trying to make this like a Tom Clancy type of film, espionage and spy type thing. And I thought that failed on all the marks, to be honest with you. Then there was a plot point. I would say plot point that it was actually a big part of the movie that they were going back in the older MCU movies to tie up loose ends. And I'm like, part of me is happy you want to go tie them loose ends up. But another part of me is just like, yo, there are a lot of people out here who don't even know what the fuck is going on. Do they even remember this? I was like, this is different because, see, now they want this to be like Winter Soldier for Sam, but it felt more like Civil War to the point. And what I mean by that, because people like Civil War, but I'm talking about where it's a Captain America movie. We know it's a Captain America movie. He had his part in the movie, but it really is Avengers 2.5. That's what this stuff is feeling like right now. And there were a lot of useless characters that was in the movie that I thought was going to have a bigger impact, but they didn't. And then we bring in the new Falcon, right? The new Falcon, Raheem Torres, played by Danny Ramirez, who was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, is now in this movie, and he's all right. It's like there's not enough build-up chemistry between him and Sam Wilson the way that Sam Wilson and Steve Rogers was. And then another thing here also that it's going to be a little irking. This could be nitpicking. Now here's the thing. Sam clearly does not have the super soldier serum. So this man's getting his ass kicked, okay? He's feeling these punches. And I'm just like, I get it. He's the new Captain America. But the way the movie's trying to sell it, for somebody who loves wrestling, they were trying to book him and sell him in a way that we are not, as the audience, are not buying. There were some things in the movie, I'll wait to the spoiler, where I'm just like, yo, bruh, you ain't taking these hits like this. You not shrugging this off. I mean, it's almost Batman level shrug off. But even Batman, you see him crunching the corner like, ugh. Sam ain't doing that, all right? And it was kind of taking me out a little bit. Like, come on, Sam.
Come on, son. Get the fuck out of here with that.
those kind of things bother me personally. And then when it comes to Thunderbolt Ross and his story arc, also I was like, okay, we're doubling back to certain things from Thunderbolt Ross, but I felt as though like Harrison Ford did his part, but I was just like, there's too much useless stuff going on here, and I felt as though y'all need to pick a storyline. Y'all need to pick something, focus on that, and then be able to go with it. They were trying to juggle too many things in one movie. And it almost, I've heard somebody say that this felt like a true finale to Falcon and Winter Soldier. And I can agree with that. I'm like, if this was turned into 2 episodes of a season finale, so it could have been like 8 episodes or 10 episodes, and this is what we got, I get it. I get it. Because that's what it felt like with all these reshoots. And my biggest thing was, I don't feel this... I understand that they're trying to make Sam the focal point. He's the one. He's the new Captain America. He's gonna have to lead a team of Avengers, and it's going to be a hard sell anyway, because I don't even think Sam Wilson or even Captain Marvel in the comic runs are doing great numbers anyway. So it's going to be a little bit of a hard sell for this, right? And then we got, you know, Black Captain America. We got the pressure of him sitting there trying to represent his country and represent that the hate that he's going to get from all, you know, from the size it's going to be. And it's just like, they teased it, but they didn't go in there. They didn't bring that drama there. I'm like, that's a real struggle. That's a real struggle, especially like, who do you have to lean on? There's no Cap there anymore. That adversity, I want to see Sam try to build up and go through that adversity. And I also want to see Joaquin Torres go through that adversity also. It's just like, yeah, we seen it at the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like, hey, can I have your wings? Oh, now I'm Falcon. At least in Winter Soldier, we got to see Sam Wilson put that suit on first and go out there and help Cap and prove himself a little bit. It's just like he just hopped up in there. I need to build it up just a little bit more. Their chemistry is not there for me. You know, like, I mean, there was sometimes, I wouldn't call him annoying, and sometimes, but there were some that was just like, okay, going a little bit, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. Then, like I said, when it comes to like the villains and stuff like that, I really can't talk about it without going into spoilers, so I'm going to save that. But there were just a lot of obvious green screens. You could tell there was a lot of these reshoots, which you can take out of the movie. And it looks like I'm bashing it a lot, but I'm just saying, but these are some of the glaring problems. It was like too many chefs in the kitchen, too many writers from different directions, and they was all like, well, this movie should be about this, or be about this, but since we can't do it the way we want to, let's do it this way. And I'm just like, it's too much. It's really too much. It's affecting the pace, and it's affecting the way of the movie, to the point where I was like, okay, so what's the end game here, right? I know what the end game is for the villain of the movie, but I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, so what's like Sam's end game? And did he really accomplish what he was trying to accomplish? Do people really take him as Cap now after the movie is over? And to be honest with you, I don't think so. There is a lot, like I said, I could just be going on and on, but I just going to be like that to get into my spoiler review. But now, just in conclusion, when it comes to Captain America: Brave New World, I honestly think I would have to give this movie, look, like in my heart, I want to say hashtag give it a chance. I love movies. I do love Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson, and I just love a good, I love a good action movie. But this ain't. It's hard to sell people on this, and not just for the obvious stuff. It's just really hard to sell, especially with all the stuff that's going on. But I mean, for the Hulk fight, the Hulk fight alone, even though I think they still could have teased it a little bit more differently. And me personally, it just sucks that you can't keep anything a secret anymore, because social media and everything is out there. Because they used the Red Hulk in the promotional posters and all the posters you've seen and all the trailers you've seen to sell this movie. Because I think they knew it was going to be kind of hard to be selling Sam Wilson as Captain America if he's going to go. But I do think you actually could have did it if it was written right, if it was promoted right. Because honestly, that's what they used the Red Hulk for, and he's only in the third act of the movie. I'm sorry to say, he's only in the third act of the movie, but hashtag give it a chance for seeing the Red Hulk if you're a Hulk fan, or just like the Hulk Rage by itself. But there are points where it's like a catch it at a barbershop. It really is. It's like, you know, you can, if somebody has this on when you go over to their house or it's on streaming, like if you really don't feel like going to movies, whether it's because of COVID or whether it's because, you know, anxiety, or whether you just don't like movie theaters or something like that, I just want to save my money, something like that, then I can't honestly recommend that you go out here and spend the money. And you can wait till streaming service. But me personally, I will go out there and see it. Hell, I'll probably even go see it again, like with my wife or my family or something like that. If they want to come with me. But then, you know, that'll be it. But I don't know. It didn't kick it off to a good start necessarily for me. Like I said, I slept on it, and I was just like, man. When I woke up, more things was bothering me about the movie. You know what I'm saying? So, but the Thunderbolts is next up. So we got the Thunderbolts, which is basically Marvel Suicide Squad, which is May 2nd. Then we got the Fantastic Four in July. So I'm really hoping, you know what I'm saying? Especially Fantastic Four need to hit it for me, because I'm a Fantastic Four fan, so I want it to hit it for me. But we're gonna give our thoughts on, like when Q Flow comes on, we're going to give our spoiler review for that. But this is just our non-spoiler review. You know, I hope you enjoy. Stick around for our spoiler review, because we got some things to say.